Hello llama friends and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Gisela here. Today's video is going to be a my favorites video. So if you would like to sit down, make yourself a cup of tea, and then we can have some tea together, and let's get started. The first app I want to talk to you guys about is this app called Webtoon. So for any comic book readers, manga readers, this is the perfect app for you. I recently stumbled upon Webtoons on my Instagram page. I kept seeing this really beautiful artwork of Persephone in Hades, and this kind of caught my eye because I love ancient myths and tales. So I was curious, and then one day I just was like, you know what, let me just download the app. The story that is my absolute favorite is Olympus, and this story is super cute. It is a retelling of Persephone and Hades. It's pretty much how these two gods and goddess are trying to find out their feelings for one another. And not only is it a romantic tale of how these two romantic relationship develops, but also it deals with a lot of other things such as relationship struggles, abuse, etc. It's definitely more on the mature side of stories that I have read, but the art is so wonderful and the writing is super good. I will mention the author's name here. I also just recently found out that the stories upload every Sunday, so I'm gonna give it a while before I go back to it so more episodes can come out because the story is amazing. And I thought I should share that with you guys. The next app I'm going to talk to you guys about is an app which I have mentioned before in a different favorites video called Episodes. So Episodes again is another app that I found on Instagram because I kept seeing like all these like choice stories, and I just thought, okay, let me like see what this is about. I want to say webisodes. I'm like meshing whoa, my god. Okay, mind me, I just got out of work, I'm a little tired. Episodes is more of a app where different authors create different types of stories, different genres, similar to Webtoons, except this is geared more for people who love choices type of games. So the way Episodes works is it is run by tickets. So apparently now every reader gets about 2 tickets to read 2 stories or episodes of each author. I know that when I first downloaded the app a year or 2 ago, it was 4 tickets, but I guess the creators of the app reduced it to 2. So besides tickets, this app is also run on diamonds, so sometimes some popular stories like Pitch Perfect, Mean Girls, etc. So diamond options are things you have to pay for to get, I guess, a better option for the story in order to get a better ending for the story. I did play those, I'll admit, but to all the people that need the free stuff, there are a bunch of choice stories that are free. Some of my favorites that don't require diamonds, and I'm not going to mention the summary of each story just to save time on the video if you are into like the spooky and horror genres. There's a story called Porcelain. Porcelain is pretty much about a character, who gets kidnapped in the middle of the night, and this crazy man who's in love with porcelain dolls holds you hostage. And you realize when you get to the place that you're in, you're not the only person he has taken. There are multiple people, both male and female, that he has taken. It is up to you and your choices that you pick depending the ending that you will get. And it is a very fun story. Like I said, it's good for those of you that like horror, especially since Halloween is coming about, so I thought I would share that one. Some other ones that I really like are Blake, Femme, Fatale, and The Teacher. But yeah, I thought I would share that app again. I really love it. It's so much fun. My first anime that I have to talk about is on Netflix, and it is called Carole and Tuesday. Oh my god, what a beautiful anime. So this anime is about these 2 girls named Carole and Tuesday who live on the planet Mars, I know, so cool already, right? And each of them is trying to like find their way towards becoming singers and following their dreams and their passions of connecting with people through their music. And it's such a cute comedic story. Like, I laughed so hard so many times throughout almost all the episodes, and it's so heartfelt and warm, and the people or the actresses that actually sing the voices for Carole and Tuesday do such a lovely job. And it's pretty much about these two girls who really want to become singers, and each one of them goes through a different hardship, but when they meet each other, they make such beautiful, beautiful sounds together. That's how I'm gonna end that one. Yeah. So yeah, Carole and Tuesday, definitely one of my favorite animes, or one of my current favorites so far. The next anime I'm going to talk about is the Promised Neverland. Now this anime is funny because my brother has been trying to get me to watch the Promised Neverland since the summer. And I am the type of person that when people recommend things to me, it takes me a long time to actually like watch something because I'm so focused on what I have to do. I like watching what I'm familiar with. I'm like, I'll literally be that person that can watch Lord of the Rings like 20 times and be happy with life. Like, I'm that person, and I do enjoy watching new things. It's just, it's hard for me unless I see it myself and I'm like intrigued and I'm like, oh, what is that? I want to watch it. But yeah, when other people mention stuff to me, like what to watch, it's so hard for me to be like, oh my God, watch it, watch it. But when I do, I'm just like, oh wow, I see. So the Promised Neverland. So the Promised Neverland, without giving too much away, is a story told in the time of 2045. And it starts off with a bunch of kids in like this farmland, I guess I want to say, and they're living like a good life, and they're orphans. So by a certain age, these kids would get families that would want them, except for the fact that that ish don't happen like that. And I was like, oh my God, what was I thinking not watching this anime sooner? Ish goes down. Without spoiling too much, but yeah, pretty much these kids are growing up in a farm, and apparently the world outside the farm is controlled by these monsters who wants to eat kids' brains. So if that doesn't intrigue you, then I don't know what will. But the anime is so good. Like, so far there are 13 episodes, and my brother told me that in 2020 new episodes will come out, so I look forward to that. Oh, last but not least in the anime category, and this is one that brings back literally the most simplest time of my life, is Fruits Basket. So this is actually the old DVD set. Yes, I still have DVDs. The old DVD set of Fruits Basket, the anime. So Fruits Basket originally is a manga, and it follows the story of the main character named Toru Honda, who is a high school student in Japan, and she meets the Soma family, who is cursed by the Chinese zodiac. Pretty much Toru Honda stumbles upon their lives, changes their lives like for the better. The story is more than just thrills and joy. The story really shows the deepest parts of each character, like the darkness in each character holds, and pretty much how this girl, Toru, is a positive influence to everyone she meets. This anime, the reboot of it, is definitely different than the original version. The art is so nice. The story is definitely told slightly different than when the original anime came out. And it's just such an endearing story, and it made me cry in a few of the episodes. But yeah, Fruits Basket is a childhood favorite, and I'm so happy that they brought it back and that we actually get more than just the first season and the characters that we didn't get to see after the first season. Such a cute anime. I had to share it. So if you're down to watch some anime, I recommend Carole and Tuesday, Fruits Basket, and Promised Neverland. Each one different genre, but oh so good story. Oh my god, and beautiful art. Beautiful art. So the first show I'm going to talk about is a show that I speeded through. It's called Carnival Row, which is a show on Amazon Prime. It's described as a Victorian noir show, and it is about mythical creatures and humans trying to live together peacefully while a series of murders are happening. The show stars Orlando Bloom as a character named Philo, who is a detective trying to solve these murders, and a fairy starring Cara Delevingne named Vignette, who was in love with Philo, Orlando Bloom's character. Because of the war between the mythical creatures and the humans, they each got separated, and there was a place of safety for both humans and mythical creatures called the Burg, where there are rules as to how the two species can live in peace with one another. And it is such a beautiful show. The costumes are gorgeous. The storyline was solid. I loved it. And I love Orlando Bloom because of Pirates of the Caribbean and Lord of the Rings, so I was definitely going to watch this show. And it's just a really good mystery romantic show. And the fact that it involved like fairies and stuff, I think would make a really great show if you haven't watched it yet for the season that we're in now. It really can't get any better than mystical creatures and murder solving. So thought I would share that with you guys. The next show I want to talk to you guys about is one I'm sure you guys have already seen, but I hope will be coming back soon because it's October already and I'm waiting. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. You guys have heard me mention this show, I guess, a couple of times in my video, but pretty much the show is about a girl named Sabrina Spellman. I'm sure you guys have heard of her because a long time ago, maybe a little more than 10 years ago, we had the original Sabrina with Melissa Joan Hart. Now they've rebooted the show and it is more of a dark story telling of the original Sabrina in the Archie comic books. She is half mortal, half witch, and you know, she's just trying to navigate through high school and like different relationships with different people without giving her secrecy away. And by her 16th birthday, she needs to sign like the Book of the Beast, and when she does, she's supposed to be a full-fledged witch. So it is a really cool version of the one we got with Melissa Joan Hart, which I still love and adore and appreciate, but I love how different this one is, and I guess more true to the Archie comics. I've never read them, but from what I've gathered from other people, it is, I guess, more based on the comic books. But very cool story, and I'm sure half of you already watched it, but I thought I should just mention it because it is one of my favorite shows. The next show I'm going to talk about is another Netflix series called Atypical. So the story Atypical is about a boy named Sam who has autism, and he, for the first time in high school, is trying to learn about romance and dating girls. And at the same time, he's also trying to learn how to be more independent and kind of like do things on his own so he can learn how to be by himself when he is older. I am waiting for season 3 to come out. Like, I'm like, come on guys, let's go. But the show is so heartfelt and it's so adorable, the way he's learning how to cope with the things, you know, we all are all trying to cope with, called life. So I thought it was just a really cute show. I just thought I should mention it to you guys. I was not sure if to mention this show, but I'm gonna mention it anyway. This, by the way, might trigger some people, so if this trigger you, you can skip the video or you can completely stop watching. I completely understand. Another favorite show that I actually just finished watching is called Unbelievable. I'm sure some of you have seen the promotion for it if you have Netflix. It is a series about different women who live by themselves getting raped. And then the detectives who I guess listen to these women can't find clues as to who this person is coming in the middle of the night and asking them to do these horrible things. And after a while, another similar story happens to another victim in the show, and these two detectives pretty much are on the hunt to find similar stories as to the, I guess, second rape victim's case and piece together the clues to help find who the person was committing these crimes. The story is so good, based off true events. So I just thought that this was a really good crime story for anyone who wanted to watch. The show was just very well told, and I thought I would share it as a favorite TV shows on Netflix. But I understand that there might be certain people who will not want to watch the show because it can trigger something, so I completely understand. And if that is so, then disregard anything I said. But it is a really good show, and it actually got really high reviews on Rotten Tomatoes and on IMDb. So if you are curious about the show or you like crime shows, then this is a really good one to watch. One more TV show I want to talk to you guys about. I just thought of it now because I saw it pop up and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't mention. But it is another Netflix series, and the show is called Lucifer. Oh my god, such a cute, funny show. So it is a fantasy and crime show where this man who lives in modern day society keeps telling people he is Lucifer, the devil incarnate. He lives his life in luxury and leisure until one day he meets this detective who is completely blocked by like his powers to tell people their greatest desire. And the show is so adorable, and I think the actor who plays Lucifer is just so comedic and cute. It's a really cute crime show. He meets the detective and then they start solving crimes together, and then as the seasons go on, it delves deeper into his storyline and plot on how he got to Earth, on how long he decided to stay on Earth, why he stayed on Earth, etc. So can't believe I forgot to mention, but yeah, watch Lucifer. Very, very good show. Alright guys, so that is actually the end of my favorites video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was more of a chill video. I really like making videos like this. Let me know if you guys would like me to make more videos like this in the future. I totally will. I hope some of the things I mentioned you guys would take a look at. I love you llamas. I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.